Good? Okay, good. Good evening. So the lecture tonight is about divine justice. Can you take a little bit out the echo? And actually, we're going to be elaborating a little bit what is it and how, not what is it, but how the views of people related to divine justice. I have one question for you guys. You guys can interact if you want to. Yes? This one? There you go. One more? There you go. Here we go. All right. I have a question for you guys. Do you know how many religions there is in the world?
Thousands.
Who's going to give me the right answer?
7,000.
Thousands? Give me a number.
What was the question?
How many religions that we have in the world today? 20? Okay, we have 20. Come on, give me a number, people. Huh? 1,000? Okay.
7,000.
7,000? Give me a number.
80.
80? Give me a number.
Number of people in the world.
That's good. That's the number of point of view of religions. That you're right. So what did you say?
No, I just asked a question.
Okay, so it's around 4,000 organized religion in the world. Not talking about the cults and other religion, they are not organized. Okay? And do you know which one is the newest one? The newest one is the Baha'i. You ever heard about it? So the Baha'i is a religion that believes that it will unite everybody in the world in one thinking and that everybody is one. And the Baha'i, it's even younger than Spiritism. But a lot of the Spiritists do not believe that Spiritism is a religion. So most of us do not. Spiritism is mostly a philosophy of science with moral aspects, not religion with any other, without any dogmas. But the Baha'i is the newest one. It was created in the 1900s, and it was created in Iran, and it's the newest one today. So the last almost 200 years now, we don't have a movement of a new religion coming out. We have cults, but not organized religion. And the reason why we have so many religions, it's because everybody has a point of view of what they read and what they understand related to the teachings of God or whatever they believe on their spirituality. You can read the same, 10 different people can read the same page in the Bible, in the Gospel, in the Old Testament, or whatever it is, and you're going to have 10 different interpretations of what they read, because the interpretation is related to how you know the subject, first of all. Second of all, it's how involved you are with the subject. And that's why you have so many religions on the world related to God, of course, and others have the prophets and the saviors and so on and so on. So the point of view of each one of us can be considered his own religion, and but not organized. And another question, do you know how many galaxies there is in this universe? So, yeah, they don't have the count. They say the number of galaxies, they don't have the number. It's the same amount of sand of the Sahara Desert. Of galaxies, not stars, of galaxies. So it's a huge place, huge place. And we are, here in this galaxy, in the Milky Way, we are a very small planet on this galaxy. And we need to start understanding and accepting, actually, how small we are. and how little we know about anything, and how much more we need to continue to understand and to gather more information about starting with our planet, and then to our solar system, galaxy, and so on and so forth. We only know about 5% of the known universe, 5% what the telescopes can see. So it's a very small number. I was in Geneva last year, and this guy was giving a lecture about the size of the universe, and he said that they are just kindergarten related to the universe. This guy was a PhD in quantum physics, and he was giving this lecture, and he said, listen, you think I know a lot? I don't know anything. And he shows a clock on the wall, and this clock was counting, and the number was in the trillions. And he said, you see that? The number is the amount of molecules that we already discovered from the last test we did in our Hadron Collider. They collide two atoms, and out of those two atoms, they break, several atoms breaking, and out of those atoms, the small pieces are the molecules, and they are naming all these molecules. So they are on the trillions already, and they don't have enough resource to do this. And on this place where the Hadron Collider is, they have 3 shifts of people working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to organize the molecules, just to try to understand the small molecule, the atom, and the energy that goes around it. So it's huge. I was there, and the complex is amazing. The amount of people working, computers, supercomputers, and he went in and he said, we don't know absolutely nothing yet. So it's shocking for us, for a person that has the amount of knowledge that professor has, saying that. But this is something that we need to follow, especially with our beliefs, religious beliefs and moral beliefs. Okay? So that's where I'm going to bring divine justice on this, because the divine justice, so you can go ahead and, are we changing here? No, okay, let me see. No, it's not working. So divine justice, it depends on the view that you have of God. So if you have a God that is vengeful, that repents, that is mad, that gets mad, so you're going to see a divine justice related to this God, a God that's punished, a God that you need to ask him forgiveness for the wrong things that you do, a God that is outside of us. It's not with us. It's a God that is something else and is not interacting with us. So the perspective of God today, in the beginning, let's start in the beginning, about 4,000 years ago, because most of us study Christianity. And here, the vision of God evolved. We see the vision of God 4,000 years ago with the Old Testament, a God that it was exactly what I said. Vengeful, that got mad, that repent of the only reason that the flood happened is because God repent that he had creators. So he decided to kill us all. So that's the type of God of the Old Testament. And then there was this guy that came in, Jesus, and he showed another vision of the God. The vision that he showed was what? What kind of vision that Jesus Christ brought to us when he came in 2,000 years ago? What type of God? Love? Merciful. So the vision that he brought in was a God that is a father. So that's what the vision of the Father as God as a father started when Jesus Christ came in to try to teach us, to show us something. And Jesus Christ only accept one way to call him, as master. He never accepted any other things they used to call them. Good. He never said that he was good. He never said that he was God. And he always said that he was a master. He was bringing the food for the spirit. And follow me if you want. If not, it's okay. Just doing just a short version that what he did. But when he showed a God that is a father, the people that believed that God was kind of a warrior, a general, didn't like that. So they persecuted him, and until they killed him. And then, as a spiritist in the 1800s and 1850, with the movement, the phenomenon of Spiritism, when Spiritism came in with Allan Kardec, we started seeing a different type of God, another vision of God. Of course, we are not talking about the old religions, the old beliefs that we have on the Occidental world, like the Vedas, 16,000 years, like the Hindus, 10,000 years. Their vision also is a different vision that they got than the vision of God we have here. So in India, they don't believe that actually there is one God. So if you're going to study in deep, you're going to understand that they believe in different gods. And the Vedas also brings a different vision of God, and so on and so forth. But us in here, when the Spiritism came in with Allan Kardec, the first question of the Spiritist books is what? Do you guys know? What is the first question? So it's what is God? It's not who. It was what is God? And the Spirits answer as primary cause of everything in the universe and supreme intelligence of the universe. That's what the answers of the Spirit. He never mentioned that God was love, compassion, none of that. What the Spirits told us was that he was the primary cause of everything in the universe and the source of intelligence with the universe. So that's another vision of God, okay? But with the Spiritism moving from Europe and going to South America, and when the Spiritism came in 1850s, the religion was already failing in Europe. People, because of the Illuminism, the intellectuals did not want to deal with more with that. Can you work on the air conditioner, please? It's kind of hot in here, both of them. And so as soon as the Spiritism moved into South America and then moved to a country, it was the #1 Catholic country in the world, Brazil. When the people start to study this philosophy in Brazil, they start bringing in their beliefs also into Spiritism. And Catholics, other religions, they start bringing their beliefs into Spiritism. And today, if you ask anybody in Spiritism what is God, they're going to say God is love, God is compassion, God is hope. But they're never going to say that the God is the cause, primary cause of the universe and the source of intelligence. Because they got stuck with the old ideas and brought into Spiritism. Today, we see, if we're going to study some of the passages that survived the modification of the Bible, is that in a lot of the teachings that Jesus Christ brought, he always said that God was inside of you, that the kingdom of heaven is inside of you, that God and him was one. So he started bringing this idea, that we are all one, and that we have inside of us already all this knowledge, all this intelligence that comes from God inside Spiritism. But what we did as a Spiritist, we didn't work on that. What we did was we continue believing in a God that is external, a God that is a man, a God that dictates, a God that does this, does that is in control of everything. Isn't everybody believes in that? That the God is in control of everything, right? Is he? Is he in control of everything?
No.
Absolutely not, right? So, because if he was in control of everything, where is free will? There was no free will for us, right? So, the view of God in Spiritism should be of this one of creation and intelligence, okay? The result of the use of free will is what is going to give you compassion, is what's going to give you love, is what's going to give you hope. These are things that come from us when we use our free will. But what we did is we moved this into God, because it's better to see a God as a father, somebody that is going to take care of us, okay? And instead of having a God inside of us, we put a God outside of us. And that's why we have so many religions, because we need an intermediary to vouch for us and God. And we don't need that. All religions on the world was created by men, right? God, the knowledge of us, God was pulled inside religion by men. Okay? So none of these messiahs or messengers that came in, they never said they were going to create anything. They came in to show the example, and because we are in need of a savior, we did this. Okay? And with that, divine justice. And that's the reason why today we see that I was reading the internet today about, was last week, about the earthquake in Turkey, and there was this blog, a lot of religious people talking about what happened there and pointing fingers because of an accident, of a natural thing that happened. And people say that's a punishment from God and this and that because they believe it's this and that. But it has nothing to do with that. So we see how our divine justice is applying dependent in what type of God we believe in. Now, if we move from this God, this external God, and move into this God that exists inside of us, how this divine justice is going to happen? Just for us to think about it. Because we think that everything that happens in nature is in control from God. If it was a hurricane, it's because God was sent. If it was an earthquake, it's because God was sent. If it was something in the ocean, it's God, it's God, it's God, it's God. Right? But it's not. We are in control. He gave us free will so we can have this control. And if we're going to actually support this idea that God is inside of us, okay, that this divine is inside of us already, that He is, we are Him, and Him is us, this divine justice is going to change a little bit. Okay? Then, if we're going to see a God that is inside of us, we're not going to judge anybody's action. We're not going to judge anybody's problems because we know that nobody's perfect. And we are not here to judge anybody. And we're going to understand that if He, I'm going to call Him Him because there is no other thing to call, if this creation gave me free will, I can use whatever I want. And there is no, actually, when I say it's punishment related to that. It's just that our own consciousness is not a judge. It's going to be the tool to pull us into the right path. Because every time we do something that is not according to ourselves, something negative, we feel. Everybody feels. The same way when we do something good, we also feel. This is the instrument that we have inside of us that is already regulating us, okay, to push ourselves closer and closer on the same path that all the masters that came here on this planet told us to follow. We are always looking for our mission on this planet. And the mission on this planet, everybody's mission on this planet is one mission only, is to cultivate good towards one another. And doing this, we're going to be able to express this God that Jesus Christ said lies inside of us. And not satisfied with all this teaching that he was saying, he comes in and tells the apostle, listen, you can do whatever you want. You are God. It's right there in the gospel. He said that. You can do what I do and much, much more. So he was already trying to pull us into this new idea, this new philosophy, getting us out of this vengeful God. It served because people 4,000 years ago needed that vengeful God. Because we were savages without laws. Today we are savages with laws. So simple as that. But back then we had no laws, so they had to have a law to contain one way or another, to civilize the population. It served. But then he comes in and said, now it's time for something new. So he gave us something new. But what we did, we got stuck in the old until this day. And that divine destiny is still stuck as 4,000 years ago. We have one problem. Go ahead and change for me, please. We like to see civilization and spirituality as the same thing. And it's not. So civilization is one thing. We have our laws, the governors. We have the people, they are in charge of our civilization. We have our models of civilization, different ways. Okay, you go in a country, they do one thing one way. You go to another country, you do it another way, and that's how it is. That's civilization. Okay, we have a stop sign. They create this stop sign so they can civilize the traffic. All right, the trans here, the cars. So we are controlled, civilized by our laws. But what we do is we get these laws and transform these laws into spirituality laws. And it doesn't work. Because we are so used to deal with the outside, with matter, with materialism, that when we dig ourselves into spirituality, we bring all this into it. And it has nothing to do with that. There is no laws in spiritualities. There is no government in spirituality. There is no justice in spirituality. I know it hurts when you hear that's no justice, because the word justice per se is related with duality. It's related with right and wrong. We have right and wrong in our civilization, but we don't have right and wrong in spirituality. Do you understand or no? Why don't we have right and wrong related to spirituality? Think about it. Right and wrong is already related with judgment. Right and wrong is related with ending. Right? That's the reason why we are afraid of death. Because we do not want the things to change. When something bad is happening in your life, what do? Oh my God, I hope this thing passes as soon as possible. Right? When something good is happening, what you say? Oh my God, this day could be forever. But life is not like this. It's not like this. So, taking those laws that we use in civilization and the material world is not going to work in spirituality. We need to understand spirituality. What is spirituality? Somebody gives you $1 million to answer that question. What would you answer? Spirituality is the process to experiment something beyond the 5 senses. That's what spirituality is. As soon as you move beyond the 5 senses, you are on the spiritual level. But we don't experiment that. Never. We have our jobs. We have a family. We have our vacations. We have our, the things that we like here. So we spend a lot of hours of our days working with family, house, and so on. What do you do related to spirituality? Don't tell me that you are working here at the center. It's not exercising spirituality. It's not. When you do a volunteer work, you're exercising the mission that you came here to do, to preserve the connection that we have to one another, love and good to one another. That's what we're doing. But that's not a spirituality. Spirituality, when you get out of this world, this mature world, and go into there, and then you're not using smelling, taste, touch, vision, and hearing anymore. You are part of everything. So when you experiment that, you're going to understand who you are and what is inside of you.
How do you experiment that? How do you experiment not using your senses?
Meditation is your first step. Okay, there is no spirituality path without meditation. Because the mind, our mind, is the tool of ourselves, of the spirit, for creation. But our mind today is not creating anything. It's only repeat everything that we have in memory. That's why you can stop thinking. But when you go into meditation, you stop the mind. As soon as you stop the mind, then you give room for intuition. And then you're able to access what we are and understand where we're living in. So, can you pass that also? On the answer the question, and what is God? We go back into the theory. Do you ever hear the theory about the macro and the micro? You ever see that theory before? That everything that is an atom is also on the universe, the same system, the same way of work. So they're already proven that. So when you see an atom, or when you see a cell, for example, in your body, you see your body. You don't tell your body to breathe. Do you tell that? So who's making your body breathe? You don't tell your liver to filter. Who's doing that? The cells are doing that. So inside the cells, there is already this what? What is inside the cells? The intelligence, right? It's already intelligence that already know what to do. The same way the small dust in the universe. They already know how to get together and put the nebula together, and from the nebula will be a star or a planet. They already know that this sand, cosmic sand that exists in the universe, it's the one who's manipulated the creation of the solar systems and the stars. And then you take one cell from the liver and put it in a heart, that cell is going to start doing the job of the heart. So who's telling the cell to do that? So this intelligence is already inside there. And the same way that we can access this intelligence. But what we did was we stay only on intellect here. We forgot the God that exists in us. Okay? And the problem with this belief is, answer Vincent's question here also, is accessing this God. We need to access. Because those who access, they have the knowledge. They have everything. If you're going to study the book of the Vedas, 16,000 years, in there they show creation 16,000 years ago, talking about the atom way more open and broad than any scientist today. But how they acquire this knowledge? Because when they meditate, they access everything. And you can point that to it. Because you have a free will. You can meditate in different things. But when they meditate, they just stay there to connect to everything. And as soon as they connect to everything, they know everything. Going back, what Jesus said, you are God, you can do what I do, and much more. But because of intellectuality and the external, we depend ourselves always with the external. We forgot that is inside here, this God. When we ask what is God, we're going to answer love, compassion. We forget that before all this is an intelligence, and we see this intelligence here around us. Can you pass for me, please? Every word, have you heard that word before? Impermanency? Yeah? Impermanency, what is impermanency? Everyone knows?
Everything's always changing.
Here we go. Always moving, right? So the new theory now is everything is moving all the time. It's a constant movement. We know that the planet doesn't stop. We know the solar system doesn't stop. And we know that our galaxy is moving throughout the universe. Everything is moving. It's like a river, okay? That when you look, there is a saying in Brazil that you never swim in the same river twice. You know why? Because the water changes all the time.
Cynthia literally said that last week in her talk.
Who?
Cynthia.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
That's good. So that's the reason why we, as a spirit in evolution, cannot be stuck in beliefs of 2,000 years ago, or even 1,000, 100 years ago, or in conditions that we have because we are going through some desperate moments or from happy moments, and we want to stay there, or we want this to pass so fast. Life doesn't work like this. Life is a constant moving. If it's constant moving, it's constant changing. That's the reason why, as soon as you're born, you give one step forward into evolution as a spirit, because it's a movement. But for us to be connected to things because of our beliefs, because the way I think this way is better, so I'm going to get stuck with this belief of 4,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago, I'm going to take myself from this process of impermanence and go into a process of permanent. Instead of being in the river, you're going to jump yourself into a pool where the water is always standing still. And if the pool is small enough, it's going to drain out, and then what is going to be left over there is just mud and dirt. But the river is going to be bringing us to different places, different locations, different connections, different views, different ways to connect it to others. In some way, we want the river. In other ways, we want the pool. But it doesn't work like this. The fear of changing, of things changing, is very strong on us. Very, very strong on us. Changing. And some people, they have even problems with changing because of how they affect them. They like everything is standing still. There is also another phrase that they say, a team that is winning, right, you don't touch. It's not true. It's not true, because the other team is going to play harder and is going to beat you one day if he makes his changes. So our way of seeing divine justice today is how we see God. If we think that divine justice exists to punish people, it's because we believe that God punishes. And there is no such a thing. If you believe that a God that is controlling the universe with the laws that we have here, when you do something wrong, you feel the necessity to ask forgiveness to the Supreme Being. Doesn't make sense. If the Supreme Being needs forgiveness from us, he's not a Supreme Being. He's not the source of intelligence of this universe or the source of life. We need to start seeing God differently so divine justice gets erased from our vocabulary. Because this word divine justice came in from the laws that they had for civil laws. We started following, it's the same way we make in the American Constitution into a holy book. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. It will happen. It happened with Judaism, because the Old Testament was a civil law implemented, and they turned that into a divine book, a divine law. Yes.
So wouldn't divine justice in that context then be like the law of cause and effect?
Yeah, there is no law of cause and effect. No. There is cause and effect. When you jump higher, you're going to get hurt, right? When you hurt somebody, you're going to hurt yourself. There is consequences, but it's not a law. If it's a law, it cannot be changed, right? The law of cause and effect came from eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, right? Because when I kill somebody, on the next life, I need to be killed. That's what's a law of cause and effect. But there is no law of cause and effect. There is cause and effect, but not a law. Do you understand? Because he said it many times. The amount of love that you do will cover all your sins from the past. So there is no punishment. The punishment comes from us, but not from this system. There is no system. The system is us. Because if you put a system in place, then you need to apply those laws. And if you look on the Spiritist book also, there is no mention of law of cause and effect in any of those books of Spiritism, on the base books. There is cause and effect.
Action and reaction.
Action and reaction is a physics law. So it's different. And if you read that book, also. And then it's good that you brought that book in. In that book, there is a story of two brothers. And at the end, they want to die how they killed somebody. Let's put it this way. But it was their choice. It wasn't divine justice. He wanted to experiment what he made others suffer, so he could take the guilt from inside of him. It wasn't God telling him, or Jesus Christ, or some other guy. He chose it. And the same thing happens in the reincarnation process. We are not imposed to be the way we are. We choose. Or no? Am I wrong or am I right? There is no right and wrong, remember? I was just kidding. So we choose everything. That's what's free will. Oh, Luigi, but you see that babe that was born with a sickness, with this and that? Choice. He also brought that in. Remember when he said about the blind guy that was born blind? When they asked him, why this guy is blind? It's for the justice of God. That this, no, none of that, Jesus said. It's so the law, so that his choice will apply on him. So we go over all these small details because we are focusing on this external world only. If we're going to believe in justice, divine justice, I'm going to give a passage here from the Bible. Do we know the passage, the workers of the last hour? Who knows that passage? Who does not know? You don't know? You don't know? So there is a parable in the Bible that Jesus Christ is talking to the apostle, and he say, listen, a father is like, he says like this, a father is like a farmer that leaves in the morning in the first hour to get the worker. So this farm guy leaves at 7 o'clock in the morning and go there and find the worker and tell the worker, listen, if you work the whole day for me, I'm going to pay you 1 denario. And then in the second hour of the day, at 8 o'clock, he goes in and catch another worker and gives him the same deal. And he continues throughout the day gathering people to work on his farm. And then, on the last hour of the day, he gathered this guy and said, listen, what are you doing here until this time without any work? And the guy said, listen, I've been here all day, but nobody came here to offer me work. And then the guy said, okay, so I'll offer you work now. Let's go. So took him in the last hour, 5 o'clock. And the day will finish at 6 o'clock. So the day finished at 6 o'clock. He goes in, the farmer goes in to pay the workers, and he started paying every worker. And then the workers started seeing that everybody's getting the same amount of money. The people that work all day, and the people that only work 1 hour. And then that guy who works all day say, wait, hold on. That's not fair. Why are you paying him the same thing you paying me that I work all day and him only work 1 hour? What is the law of cause and effect there? What is the justice on that?
It was his choice.
Huh?
It was his choice. He agrees to do what I'm saying.
Huh?
They make a deal. The first one that comes, I told you if you want the
Uh-huh.
this was the deal.
It was the deal.
You want the deal.
Okay, that's fine. But if you're going to put this here today, it's not fair that you guy work 1 hour and everybody busts the behind there for 8 hours and get paid the same thing. You're going to see this way, oh, hold on. I know it's a deal, but is this guy better than me? He's prettier than me? What's going on here? Everybody's going to ask that, right? So what is justice? And he said that the Creator did this. When he tells the parable, the farm owner is the Creator. And he said, Jesus Christ said, that's how the Creator works. So where is the justice on this parable? Go ahead, say it. There is no justice. What is it? If we are all one, I should feel happy when something good happens to you, right? So I should be glad that he only worked 1 hour and got the same amount of money that I did. That's how the Creator wants us to connect to one another. Share the goods and share the bad. That's how we are one. That's how you don't see justice related to the divine. Related to the divine is intelligence. Justice comes from us. Because justice is connected to what? Right and wrong. And for us, right and wrong exists because we are in this material world that is governed by this duality that we call right and wrong, beautiful and ugly, tall and small, black and white, yellow and red, and so on and so forth. But when we move from this world to experiment spirituality, none of that exists. We see we are all one, and we are able to reach and access the God that is in us. Then is no longer a problem of understanding creation. And then we're going to stop judging people. We're going to start telling people, oh, this is right, you should do it this way, you should do it that way, and then. We're going to respect everybody on their own choices. Don't we have laws here to govern this thing? And let the laws take care of the material world. But let divine intelligence and free will govern our spirituality. So we need to separate those two. The vision of divine justice is going to change as soon as you start following what the guy came here 2,000 years ago to teach us and got killed for it, suffered for, but we never follow. We'll continue using what we think is best for us. But what we need, we put aside. Thank you very much for your attention tonight. Anybody has any questions? No? Any questions? Okay. 1, 2. Okay, thank you. We're going to search too.
Thank you so much, Luigi. It's always great to hear you, what you bring. Can we do a quiz on... I'm just kidding. Just to check if you are still awake. Okay, we have some announcements. This is the invitation. You invite yourself to go to our WhatsApp group if you want to get exclusive announcements. So this is not a group for chats because only admins will post on it. The English one is still open because we have a smaller group of people. The Portuguese one is almost 300 people, so only admins will post. But the English one is still open, but we don't chat. You get to know what's going on in here, all the mediumship workshops, all the spiritual talks. You get to know everything that is going on. I highly recommend that you get also the WhatsApp and the social media. We are posting on Instagram about all these wonderful talks. Juan, next. Thank you. So, have you ever heard of the Enneagram? Yes? Great. So we're going to have the Enneagram workshop. The Enneagram is a map of your personality. So basically, you get to know your ego. Let's go to the point. That one that we get stuck and we are automatic reaction, action, everything we do, and maybe we are repeating our actions. With this workshop, you get to know your personality type. It doesn't mean that you're going to put yourself in a box. It's the opposite. It's totally the opposite. You will understand why you do the things that you do, why you prefer this type of activities more than others. And then you can tell if that's your ego or that's your essence. You can tell if you are acting or your motivation is based on stress or based on growth. So you get to know all that. So there are, according to the Enneagram, there are 9 personality types in the world. And we got a little bit of everybody, but there is one that is our core motivation for things. So it's great to know which one is ours. It helps us a lot. So this is a minimum $30 donation just for the Sunday. Because on Sunday, we already had a lot of workshops here in the house, so we are now going to see the wings. You see those personalities right here. Like, for example, if I am a type 7, my wing is 8 and 6. My wing, if I am a type 7, for example, my wing cannot be type 2. So we're going to find out how those wings are influencing, how those personalities on my side are influencing my personality. On Saturday, if you don't know your Enneagram, you can come. It's going to be 4 hours workshop, and it's free. A lot of people, they mistype themselves. They think they're someone, but there are a lot of people. Let me tell you a secret. A lot of people choose their personality. That's not possible, okay? We don't get to choose. Oh, I like this personality. So I like the description of this personality. So I'm going to get this one. Not possible, okay? We all have one. And the reason why people do that is because they see the description of the ego. And it hurts, of course, our ego when we find who we are, we get hurt. So here you get to know. This workshop is profound and it's wonderful. It will help you a lot. I hope you can join. And this QR code, you register. You don't pay there. You just register. And then I get in touch with you to see if you are going to really participate or not. Just put your name if you are interested. Okay? And if you have any question, talk to me, please. It's going to be on March 18th and 19th in English. There will be another one in Portuguese, 25th and 26th of March. So the first weekend is English. The next one is Portuguese. Okay, Juan, thank you. So we're going to have a energy healing master class, and it's once a year. It's going to be Saturday, Sunday, April 15th and the 16th from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. You cannot just come for one day because they are linked with each other. So the Saturday, we're going to have the theory, and then on Sunday, we're going to practice what we have learned. So it's amazing. You will learn about your chakras, how to protect yourself, how to heal yourself, heal others. And it's going to be with Yonara. She's very, very knowledgeable about this topic. And there you have the QR code, and you can sign up. And it's going to be donation $50 because it includes all the food, the lunch, the coffee breaks, and everything. So hopefully we can see you there. So the English day, it's Wednesday, is the day that we speak English with the open meetings. We used to have translations on Mondays and Saturdays, but we don't have any longer. So it's going to be our Wednesdays. It's our special day here. Who on next? And March 11th, it's our yard sale. If you're looking for a very nice environment to volunteer, if you're looking for community hours, and you can give 1 hour or whatever you can give to us, we're looking for volunteers. It is very important for us and to help us to pay the bills. So please support this initiative. On Tuesday, it's our meditation. Was yesterday, was wonderful. Our guided meditation is free. You don't have to be experienced. You can learn. Next one. On Thursday, we have our spiritual work. And this is Thursday at 7 p.m. It's a 6-week program. Let us know if you have any question about that. Or you can just come tomorrow a few minutes before 7, like 10 minutes before 7, and start the process. A spiritual surgery we offer here in the house. This is all free, of course. But this spiritual surgery, you have to talk with Luigi. He's the one in charge of the schedule. And don't forget to bring your water so we can magnetize it for you, just for you. And then after the magnetism, please pick them up. Don't forget them. They're very important. And the messages from the Beyond, channeled messages we offer in the house. If you requested one, please pick them up after the magnetism. This Saturday, we're going to have a very special dinner. It's a fundraising dinner we have every Saturday. We're going to have the Brazilian feijoada. Do you all know what feijoada is? Do you know of? You don't know feijoada? You don't know? Of course, yes. How come? How come? What happened? So, Brazilian feijoada is a very famous dish, Brazilian typical dish. It's very good, and it's going to be this Saturday, and it's only $12. Please help us. People make the food for us. They are volunteers. They donate. They make it with so much love, and the food are really, really good. The only thing we need to do is to give $12 and get this delicious Brazilian dish. With a dessert, we have dessert. I think it's passion fruit something. And thank you so much for your patience, for the announcements. And let's prepare ourselves for the magnetism. I invite you all to find your breath and to relax just for a few seconds before we go to the passage chamber. If this is your first time, it's not mandatory. But if you want to go, just sit down and relax. Nobody will touch you, so you can close your eyes when you're there. Let's just absorb the good energy from this place where we come. Everybody that comes here is looking for the same thing, which is connect with our own spirituality, to connect with our subtle vibrations. We all have vibrations of forgiveness, compassion, patience, faith, love. We have wonderful vibrations within us. And in this moment, we will bring them to our attention. We will allow them to connect with the good spirits in the house. They are here to give us love, to support us, and to guide us sometimes, to inspire us on this journey here on earth. May we never forget to connect with our personal mentor, spirit mentor, personal guide and angel, to get the inspiration from the universe, from the love that exists all around us, everywhere we go. We just have to have the eyes to see and the heart to feel the wonderful and magnificent goodness of the universe. May we get out of here tonight feeling confident, renovated, and liberated from any kind of burden, stress that we might have in our lives. And let's remember that we are all in this together, planetary family. And we can do this. We can overcome any situation we are going through, and we might not like it or deal with it in good terms. Thank you, good spirits, for inspiring us. Thank you, Broward Spirit Society, for being this spot of light in Pompano Beach, here in Florida, on planet Earth. Thank you. Hazia. Sure. Get in there. I am the river of life. I am the keeper of this dream. Walk with me, I'll tell you 1,000 stories. Long ago, given to the earth. These mountains tall, they are my only walls in this temple where I bow.
up, my sisters, rise up. Let us lift each other up. Sing it from your heart and from your soul. Azia. The sun and moon, they shine together. She moves the waters and dances with the heavens. In your eyes I see your eyes. In your eyes I see the giver of this life. So rise up, my sisters, rise up. Let us lift each other up. Sing it from your heart and from your soul. I see. Let's go in dreams. It's here in dreams. 3, 2, 1, and. Know you are love, rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Know you are loved, rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Beloved child, my heart is yours. Beloved child, go out and open doors with your love, with your faith.
soul is released. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Know you are loved. You want to do blessings?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just sing all together.
Okay.
Greg, hold on for that one.
Okay.
Paper was right here. Go ahead. Okay, got it. Got it? Okay. C, G. And then, okay. What's that? The Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Amen. Amen. Generations and your family and your children and their children and their children. May his presence go before you and behind you and beside you, all around you and within you. He is with you, he is with you in the morning, in the evening, and you're coming and you're going and you're weeping and rejoicing. He is for you, 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 he is for you. May his presence be upon you and 1,000 generations and your family and your children and their children and their children. May his presence and beside you, all around you, and within you. He is with you, He is with you, in the morning, in the evening, in your coming, and your going, in your weeping and rejoicing. He is for you, 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 He is for you. Very good.
Acabou.
Tava bom? Quer tentar o Smile?
Eu não tenho muita voz para cantar um Smile. I don't. My voice is.
Yeah, mine's a little gone too.
I'm crazy to sing this one. I need to practice the Namah Shivaya.
No, I gotta
Mas
practice.
vai.
Yeah. Oh, Namah Shivaya. Oh, Namah Shivaya. Don't have voice. Oh, Namah Shivaya. Oh, Namah Shivaya. É assim. It's like this. Shivaya Namah. Shivaya Namah. Om. Shivaya